Welcome to today's session of the Principals Panel. We're glad that you've chosen to join us today. I am Chris Knaus, Director of School Support and Educator Certification here at Region 10, and beside me is Barb Kiefer. She has not only created but also implements our School Counselor Certification Program here at Region 10. Today, our discussion is going to be somewhat different than some sessions that you may have listened to on the Principals Panel. In that, we are first going to provide you some historical background related to the counselor program here at Region 10. And then, by the end of the session, we hope that you will consider encouraging a teacher whose students seek out now for advice when they need it to become a school counselor through our program here at Region 10. So, Barb, let's begin. Why indeed did Region 10 choose to create a school counselor program?
Well, Chris, a lot of research had been done before I ever came here about the need. A number of people have inquired about becoming school counselors. There was also a diagnostician program at Region 10, and so a lot of people thought, if there's a diagnostician program, why can't there be a school counselor program? So once the decision was made to implement, then we gathered a number of different people from across Region 10. We brought in counselors at the elementary, middle, and high school levels. We brought in administrators. We brought in HR directors and teachers so that we could get the kind of counseling program that would be effective and that districts wanted. For me, I had some personal reasons for wanting to develop this program. I had worked in Round Rock ISD as a lead counselor in one of the larger high schools there for a number of years and had interviewed people frequently. And we found, both at the district level and the school level, that the people who were the best counselors were those people who started in our school. We knew that they were great teachers, great with kids, and they became great counselors. And their longevity was much better because they knew the school, they knew the district, and they stayed with us. So knowing that about a Grow Your Own program, I was excited to be a part of the Region 10 program so that we could grow great teachers into leaders that could be counselors too. The certification program is a fairly quick one. It starts in the summer and ends the following summer. And the participants in the program go through intensive coursework, and then at the end of their coursework, they are allowed to either get a probationary certificate if they are hired as a school counselor, or they are allowed to participate in a practicum where they work with a counselor at their school or in their district to train them in the ways to become an effective school counselor.
So just like the other ways programs begin here at Region 10, we followed that same path, asked what was needed, built what was asked, what we received information about, used experiences that you brought to the table, and have moved forward. So let's look for a minute at some specific program facts. For example, how long have we been implementing the program? How many school counselors have been entered into schools because they came through our program? And what are you hearing about from districts about this program at this point in time?
Okay, we have completed 5 cohorts with the program, and the 6th will be starting this summer. We follow the American School Council Association model, and we use all school counselors to teach our program, and we get them from various parts of Region 10. Many of them have their PhDs as well. So I think we have quality staff. That's another good thing. We also teach the required elements of a school counseling program that the state requires, but we also touch on a lot of the practical issues that I found as a counselor that we don't get as much of in a university program as I thought school counselors needed. And so we have them do guidance lessons, we have them do solution-focused brief counseling sessions, we have them do personal graduation plans, go over the graduation requirements, work with the master schedule, we have them talk about schedule changes and what needs to be done. So I think that we hit a lot of the practical things that counselors need to know when they get into the schools. We also provide a mentor during that practicum or internship year that Region 10 pays for. So that mentor is a person in the school district that helps them to know the ways of the district and what is acceptable. We also have field supervisors from Region 10 that go out and visit them 3 times a year. I get to be that supervisor a lot, so I really enjoy getting to see the counselors. So far, we have certified 52 counselors. In our program right now, we have 8 who have been hired as counselors working on probationary certificates, and we have 10 who are doing the practicum program, and all 18 of them will be certified at the end of the year. As far as success stories, one of our first cohorts had a counselor from Maypearl, and she was such a great counselor, was just praised all the time she was there. So last year they asked her to become the principal there. So I think that shows how highly people think of some of our counselors. Then we had a counselor in Denison who was named Teacher of the Year as a counselor because of the great guidance lessons and the effective way that she took over the school counselor role. We had a counselor in Frisco who was chosen to present at the Texas School Counselor Association, and that's quite an honor. And then another counselor at Grand Prairie that was chosen by her district counselor director to speak to their counselors about certain skills and programs that she had implemented. So I think that speaks very highly of the people that have gone through our program.
How exciting to keep that kind of data and to move forward knowing some of the results as well. You mentioned enjoying being a field supervisor and spending time out there with school counselors in their actual roles. And I'm aware of some of the exciting stories that you've shared over time about some of the activities you've seen as you've visited at schools, on school campuses. So share a couple of those with us.
Well, I'm going to go through the various levels, and so principals may be out there from different levels. So at the pre-K kinder level, we had a counselor who, for Red Ribbon Week, was kind of at a loss for preschoolers what to do about drug awareness. So she developed a wonderful lesson on poisons in the home and how they can look like orange soda and things like that, and the kids just loved it. It was very practical and very good. One of my bilingual counselors at the elementary level has implemented a program through her action plan to improve attendance with her Latino students, and she has done interventions with parents and the students to improve attendance. Also, she's worked with behavior on the bus because many of her students were not allowed to attend school because they couldn't ride the bus because of their behavior. So she's worked on behavior programs with them. Another elementary counselor had anger issues in her school, so she developed groups for anger management using the Angry Birds motif that the kids were so excited about and really related well to, and curbed the anger problem quite a bit. At the middle school level, I've seen a lot of creativity. One of the middle school counselors was introducing the school counselor role to her students, and she constructed a huge iPhone that was like 2x4, and she went into the classroom and related the icons on the phone and how they resembled what she could do for them as a counselor. And for seniors, a high school counselor developed a lesson on scholarships where she had them do hands-on activities that turned into scholarship applications that they were able to implement by the end of the lesson. She also developed an intricate website where kids could apply for scholarships that were customized for their needs. So I think there's been lots of good work by them out there.
Thanks for sharing those examples. I know campus principals will benefit from hearing the kinds of relevant experiences that you see counselors implementing. I know as well, though, that building a strong program and a highly effective program such as the one that is here at Region 10 also involves obstacles and challenges. So what can you tell us about that?
Yeah, the first challenge is that ideally everyone would want to hire counselors with a master's degree who are experienced and fully certified. But in reality, there's a lot of great teachers out there who make wonderful counselors, but they can't afford to go back and do a second master's or get certification. So I think that our program makes a viable solution for them. The other problem is the probationary certification. With all of the federal guidelines that districts follow, many of them are reluctant to hire people with probationary certification. As the word has gotten out that we do not let people get a probationary certificate unless they've completed the mandatory coursework to be good counselors, that has helped, but there's still some reluctance, which has led to our development of the practicum experience so that teachers can continue to teach for a year and take personal days or some of their conference periods to gain that practical experience so that then at the end of the year they can get their standard certificate and districts are much more comfortable hiring them at that point. So that's another thing that has helped. And I think I heard a director say once that their district hires people and not programs. So I think the one thing that's important with this program is that we try to get quality people. Our interview process is one where we do not only a verbal interview but a written interview, and we try to tap those people who can take the pace of our program and the intensity of our program and do a great job in the schools when they get out.
We've learned long ago that having the right screening tools in place certainly does indeed help find those individuals that are perfect for those positions. So it's a great process. I am also aware that coursework, as you mentioned, has to fit the needs and be practitioner-focused. So you have continued to enhance and revise coursework annually. And I've heard some exciting things about your Ethics for School Counselors course. So tell us what's transpired with that.
Well, it all started with one of the directors who called me in to find more about the program because she had a teacher that was interested and she did not want to go that route until she knew a little bit about our program. At the end of our session, she asked me if I would present at the school counselor conference. So I submitted a proposal that was rejected the first year because I was fairly new. Nobody knew about our program. As the program has grown, 2 years later, I submitted another proposal of using the ethics program that we used with our participants. And the program proposal was accepted, and I presented at the school counselor conference in Austin. And as a result of that presentation, I have been asked to present at numerous districts in Region 10 so that other counselors can have the same benefit that our counselors do.
Well, it's timely, of course, because ethics across the world of education is a highly important topic, and so having counselors have access to new current information in that regard is certainly an asset. Since the development of the program in 2008, we've had the opportunity to meet that initial purpose, find skilled teachers who already have credentials to move forward in a way that supports campuses long term. It's been really exciting. So share a couple of final words with us that you would want administrators to have as we close today.
Well, in the program at Region 10, we encourage the counselor administration team relationship. It's very important to have a good counselor for administrators to work with because their relationship is so very important. And we try to give them a route to help those teachers that they want to develop leadership skills in to come through our program and to get that experience so that they can become counselors. So I encourage any administrators out there to look for those counselors with the skills that they know they have of relating with students, of developing kids academically and career-wise and personally and socially so that they can encourage them to become counselors. About 1/4 of the people who come into our program say that they're there because of administrators. Many of them were encouraged by their administrator to pursue this program, and some of them have even been professional counselors, have a master's in counseling, and then went back to teaching and loved teaching and never thought about going back into counseling. So administrators are crucial. So I'd like to challenge everyone today, if you have someone in your building that relates well to students, please encourage them to call me, Barb Kiefer, at Region 10, or look through our website. I think we are a viable second choice.
Well, we want to thank you for joining us today to learn a little bit about the School Counselor Certification Program here at Region 10. We know that even though we've been here 5 years, it is still something new for many campus administrators and districts. Every day we get calls about an interest in just finding out that we do have a pathway for teachers to gain certification. So we invite you to explore that. We hope you will join us again next month for the next Principals Panel. Thank you for sharing your day with us.